Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you are doing well. Today we are back in Minecraft, and I've got something quite pretty to show you today. But first, we have a little bit of a problem. See, I've just accomplished my dream of opening up a paint factory. I mean, that's a perfectly normal dream, isn't it? Opening a paint factory, I think it is, yeah. But the problem is that, as you can see, it's a little bit messy, and that's not actually what we want. We want this to be clean, modern, everything, because we've got all of the expensive equipment, but it's a little bit messy. So the problem is that we've got one worker who is a little bit incompetent, and I don't know who it is. They've been getting messed all over the place, and it's really beginning to get on my nerves. So here is the employee lounge, and as you'll see, none of these guys are going to admit to it. I was at home opening and closing doors. This guy says it wasn't him. And this guy, I have no idea what you're talking about. So since we're not going to get a confession out of any of these guys, I had to try a different method. So this is the thing that really pushed me over the edge. So here are two really expensive paint machines, and someone, the culprit, broke it. So my plan was actually quite clever. What I've done is I've injected some fluorescent dye into some of the paints. What this means is that when we turn these lights off, we're going to be able to see some stuff that we can't usually see. Okay, so let's begin investigating this by cutting the power. So once we turn this off, we can start seeing things we didn't realise were there. Aha! So, as you can see, this tank of paint over here is glowing, and so is this puddle. So, there's also a trail here, and this is hopefully going to lead to our culprit. So let's follow it and see where it goes. Now, I'd expect it to go to the employee lounge, but it seems to be going into this other room over here, which is quite weird. I wouldn't have expected anyone to come in here. This isn't really a place where they're supposed to be. Very interesting. So what it seems to happen here is they seem to try to cover their tracks by jumping in the green paint, which was a bit stupid of them, but, you know, I think we already knew that they were stupid. So they came around here, came back up to this platform, and then they seemed to have disappeared. What's up with that? I know what this is, See, I've been using some funny chemicals in this green paint, and the side effect is that basically you can walk on the ceiling, which is kind of interesting. So they've clearly started to walk on the ceiling at this point, and went through an air duct. Where did that air duct actually end up? I think it's somewhere around here, but I can't quite remember where. Where was that air duct? Was it around here? No, this is just some other tanks. And oh, I know where it was. It was in the employee lounge, of course. So this is going to tell us where it was. So this guy, no. Oh, aha! It's this guy over here. You liar! You're the culprit. Well, we finally solved that mystery, but you're probably wondering how exactly this works. So it's actually very easy to do, but there are actually two answers to it. So the first is that we've used a custom model. So this is what we've got. Over here we have an armor stand, like so, and on his head he has some packed ice. Now this can be any block, the packed ice is just for the demonstration. But basically all we've done is actually just customize the model ever so slightly so that the offset of the block is a little bit larger than it normally is. So normally this block would probably appear around head height, but we've actually raised it up. So why have we done this? Well, if you take a light source, like a sea lantern, and you place an entity atop, you'll notice that the entity is actually illuminated. So it doesn't just illuminate blocks, it also illuminates entities, obviously. So why is this important? Well, basically, what this means is you can actually move the illuminated entity, or the illuminated model, to somewhere that is possibly not illuminated. For example, let's have a look at this. So if we actually take a block of coal up here, place it up here, a little bit glitchy, you'll notice. But basically, if we actually cut the light source from this direction, so if you actually just entomb this guy like so, and do this, you can actually see that whilst there's actually no light source visible, the packed ice is actually still illuminated. And that's because the entity, the hitbox of the armor stand, is still in a zone that is illuminated, even though this area isn't. So you may be wondering whether you can replicate this effect in the default texture pack, and the answer to that is yes, you can. In fact, this is actually what I've done in this particular room. So it uses a very similar method, but a little bit different. So instead of custom models, what we're using is minecarts. So this is what it looks like. Hello! So if you didn't know, minecarts can actually also hold custom blocks. In fact, they can also hold custom offsets. As you can see, this emerald block right here is a little bit further north than it usually would be. So it uses basically the exact same method. You just cover up the two entities. You don't actually need the armor stand here, but it makes it a little bit easier to control. just cover all of that those guys up, and in this dark area, you can't quite see this quite as well here, but it works pretty much the exact same way. The emerald block or any block will illuminate. But anyway guys, that is pretty much all there is to it. It's like a raven here. It's really, really cool. I think this effect is really neat. I think it's really, really pretty, and I hope you do too. But anyway guys, if you enjoyed this video, a like is of course always much appreciated. Subscribe if you're not already. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.